You know, a Gemini boss does like a bit of a gossip.
Careful with that one.
I'm Gemini. So I'm just going to spend a very short time talking about what the element of air is about. Okay, and in order to do that, I'm going to backtrack slightly to not just think about air astrologically, but think about what air is as an element, right? And of course, it reflects in nature as different types of air experience, like winds of different sorts. You know, if you think of the difference, for example, between a light summer, pleasant summer breeze that just blows through a warm day or something like that, or you think of a howling gale or even a hurricane, for goodness sake, with the destructive side. You know, air can be very, very variable. And, you know, people that have air in their charts in general often welcome air, and they will, you know, like to go to high places, for example, or maybe sleep with the window open or something. It's like they actually need physical air, right? Okay. In terms of the inner meaning or the astrological meaning of air, it's what I'm doing, it's talking, right? It's communication. You know, air is what connects all of us. We all breathe the same air, actually. What a horrible thought that is. Or maybe a nice thought.
I totally agree, because I have a sun in Aquarius and moon in the Gemini, and I performed a grand trine with Uranus in Libra.
Yeah.
So these three air signs. Air, the window open, or have some, you know, the air for me is so important. I don't like any kind of mask.
Closed spaces.
Yeah. I need more air flowing, and I need that kind of feeling of, you know, contact with air.
With real air.
Yeah.
That's right. And so, you know, astrologically, that is to do with what I said, talking, but it's to do with communication in general. You know, air people or air bosses, so we say, in a work situation, they really value the power of the word, whether it's written word or spoken word, doesn't matter. You know, the communication of an idea is really, really important. You know, ideas can be the stuff of life for an airy boss. It's like new ideas. They like you if you have lots of ideas. If you haven't, they've got lots of ideas of their own, and that may trigger your ability to think of more ideas. So they like ideas people. But ways of communicating vary, and actually an air type of any of the three signs, which is Gemini and Aquarius and Libra, Libra to a lesser extent, but can have a bit of a sharp tongue. They can be a little bit on the sarcastic side. You know, it's like they're not overly given to huge sensitivity. That's the realm of water, or maybe earth. But airy types, you know, it's like getting across what is really important, which is how you're going to do that, how you're going to do that, what do you think about that? Some types, Gemini types, for example, Gemini bosses, can be, and this is not true for everything I'm going to say is not absolutely true for Gemini, but generally speaking, Gemini types are often extremely talkative. Sometimes they completely dominate the conversation. You can't get words in edgeways. Or other
silence now.
Talking about the business, talking about the way things are going. You know, meetings are great. Gemini bosses tend to have lots of meetings because they like to share ideas.
I've had a Gemini boss, a really lovely chap, really lovely chap, very Gemini. Actually worked in a business where the predominance, the astrological predominance within the business was Gemini. I have Gemini rising and other planets in Gemini. I don't have the sun, but my boss was sun in Gemini. And he was a real people person. He was always in meetings, always in meetings. Always on the phone, even when on holiday, always on the phone, always in meetings, typical Gemini. And every single meeting ran over. Not because his timekeeping was bad, but because he just gave people the time.
Right.
And he built his business, his very successful business on networks and connections and relationships.
Absolutely, networking.
Right.
Really
so the bottom
Gemini
line for getting on with an air boss, particularly Gemini, would be talk to them?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And he would always share his opinions with me and listen to my opinions and take my opinions on board if he felt that you know, he would always listen and take them on board.
Discourse.
Discourse.
They
absolutely.
do. Which can include slightly outside the remit of a business, depending on what the business is. You know, a Gemini boss does like a bit of a gossip.
careful with that
Like,
one.
I'm Gemini. Like stories.
Yeah.
If you can tell great stories to your boss, or sometimes when it's appropriate, you know, it can be a nice way of kind of getting them even more interested in you.
What about Libra bosses then?
Let me say one more thing about Gemini,
Okay.
which is they can be a little inconsistent. They tend to change their minds rather a lot, which can be quite difficult for you more kind of steady types. Right? Okay. What did you ask me? About Libra.
Libra bosses.
Okay, I think the most important, striking thing about Libra bosses is that they really usually do not like confrontations and conflicts, right? And they've got a very strong sense of fairness, right? You know, it's important. I've seen Libra bosses who have actually rather found a way to go around something rather than actually confront something directly. Libra finds that difficult because they've got an ability to see both sides. As they can see, you know, because they're trying to be fair and because that's naturally how they come, and they see things in a very equal sense. You know, a Libra boss might actually see, you know, the people that work for them as kind of equal to himself or herself, right? Which is, you know, very often true. I mean, a cooperative kind of situation would be great for Libra, actually. They can. Something else about Libra is that they can be very easily offended. You know, you can upset your Libra boss, so you know, keep it calm. You know, don't lose your cool, and don't be rude.
That's true.
That's true. That's interesting. I was gonna from
Any
a
other
traditional,
thoughts?
from a traditional. It made me think when you're saying about the sort of like they see things both sides and they like the cooperation. From a traditional point of view, the Sun in Libra has quite a difficult time because the Sun's all about the ego and Libra's all about sharing and discourse. So the Sun's in fall in Libra, and I think that sometimes traditionally they say sometimes those people can overcompensate by bigging their volume up a little bit. So the worst side of a Libra boss potentially could be they could crack on like they're super important and super capable, but be a little bit avoidant of conflict in reality and a little bit. So I think they probably would appreciate dialogue where they're being told, yeah, that's really good. I think that bit you did was really good. But that bit needs a bit of change. They just like the dialogue, positive feedback.
Yeah.
If you put it like that, diplomatically,
Yes.
you're much more
Both sides of the coin.
through to your boss
Yeah.
than if you were a bit confrontative.
Interestingly, Sue, I had a Libra boss a few years ago, and he was an incredible man, an incredible man, and I respected him greatly. And he had an Aries moon, and Aries is the opposite of Libra.
Fire.
He wanted to be the boss. He basically said the
Impulsive
reason he had
and a bit gobby.
the reason he had his own company was because he looked at his first job. He looked at an org chart, an organisation chart, and I don't want to be down there. I want to be there at the top. But then Libra came out because he really wanted to be fair, to be liked. Everyone within the business got equal treatment. Equal treatment, that typical Libra. And he was incredibly sensitive. We got on really well because I always get on well with air types. I seem to attract air type bosses because I'm very airy myself. And one time I was rude to him. He caught me on a bad moment, and he was genuinely very upset. And he told me that he was upset, and I apologised because I was in the wrong. He'd got quite a bit of emotional water in his chart as well.
Let's just have a word about Aquarius bosses.
Yes.
Aquarius can be a little bit, what can one say, eccentric.
Hello.
Unusual approach to things, you know, coming from a different angle, if you like. An Aquarius boss will appreciate your wacky ideas if you have any, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a sign. Usually has a good mind, values intelligence, right? Don't ask unnecessary or silly questions of an Aquarius boss because they haven't got a huge amount of tolerance. If you have a question that you think might be received as a bit silly, or you haven't listened properly, and then it gets a little bit upset, go ask somebody else.
I think
good advice.
I heard all the fixed signs are quite proud in different ways, and I think Aquarians are often proud of their ideas because it's proud of their air.
Yes, that's very true.
They're super open-minded and super liberal, but don't challenge them on an idea they hold really dear. Be really diplomatic about how you go about that.
Totally agree. It's also an extremely independent sign. So the Aquarius boss will actually like to do some things entirely themselves, and will appreciate you if you can handle your job independently.
Oh God, you talk about that.
Rod, can I put you on the spot now? You're an Aquarius.
Yeah,
you're a boss. What are
exactly.
your
I
thoughts?
liked that. What Sue talking about?
Yeah.
Because if I'm working with other people and they keep coming back saying, "Do I do this right? Have I done this right? And should I do this and that?" I want to go, you know what? Just do what you think is right, and you know, because I'm not there to 24 hours to double check. Yeah, this is right. No, that's wrong. That's right. I would if I working with you, I trust you. As long as we are stick with that big picture, we all agree with that. I'm fine with that.
We're all on plan with the idea.
Yeah. And then if you give me the, should I call this person at 3 o'clock? Should I send money here at 5 o'clock? It's like, no, I don't need to know this detail.
Work independently.
Oh yes,
encouraging
indeed.
others to work independently.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Interesting.